Hello, Shaun. E.
Hello, Nathan. E.
Well, Nathan E.
How are we this morning?
We are recording in the morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Not too bad. We've had a big night last night. I think.
Yeah.
We went to the I went to the football. You had work.
Yeah.
We watched North Melbourne versus Collingwood.
Okay. How was that?
Well, it's been currently reviewed as one of the worst games of the year.
Okay.
Just by the play. I mean, Collingwood won. We thrashed North Melbourne, which is great.
Yeah.
But we played.
You say we like you
terribly.
actually did anything.
Well, I was on the. I bought my ticket. I bought 2 beers. Eddie Maguire's happy.
You financially supported the team. So.
I locked it in.
All right.
I locked it in.
We've got a bit of news as well. Should we?
Oh,
We'll just go. We've got to rip off the band-aid.
Oh, you can do
So,
it.
okay.
Oh, should I say it?
Yeah. Well, it's your news.
Well, for all the 5 listeners out there that care,
There's more than that, but
a couple of weeks ago, myself and Sam have called it off,
Yeah.
and whether she will be coming back is unknown to me.
Yeah. That's what's happened.
So sorry, Sam fans out there. We know she was a fan favourite.
Yeah.
But she is always welcome back onto the show.
Yeah, that's right. So if you're listening, Sam, we'll have you on. We'll have you on any time. What's so funny about that?
No, no. I can just imagine myself being like yelling out as a plea for for Sam. But
we're not pleading.
No, I mean if she ever wants to come back, she was an important
I think
guest,
so. Yeah,
and she was almost the third man in the group.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's the major thing. But nothing else is going to change. Like it's still just myself and Nathan. We're still friends, thankfully.
For now.
So the show will go on.
Yes, it will. And we're going to have some more guests. We're going to try and vary up the guests a little bit as well.
We're going to get a bigger budget, get some bigger names in. A couple more friends in. We've got one coming up about Marvel and superheroes and whatnot.
Yes.
We'll save his name for now. He's a bit of an important person, but the audience will know that.
It's J.J. Abrams, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, thanks for spoiling it.
Oh, wow.
But,
no.
my life savings went into this interview.
Yeah.
And now you've spoiled it.
$10.
We'll also be getting Steph back soon as well.
Yeah, hopefully.
Our American friend. Do a special political conversation.
Donald Trump, a bit of a Donald Trump.
It won't be a bland conversation. It will be exciting.
I don't know about that. You're just reading off the schedule of what we're doing.
Pretty much. Well, just like the upcoming guests.
We're going to talk about war movies with...
with Terry.
Terry.
Okay, Tezza, my father.
Who was in the army, knows the techniques.
He knows
how to kill a man.
He wasn't in Dunkirk, though, but he was there.
We are going to see Dunkirk. You've seen it.
I've seen Dunkirk. I won't say anything about it.
No spoilers, no spoilers. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how the war ended, but that's okay. What else? What else has been going on? Just give us a rundown of your life at the moment. Just a bit of quick counselling sesh before we get started. Because what we're talking about today is going to be...
Well, my life has been a little bit like what we're talking about today. Just a jumbled mess. And if you look back on it, really, you need to review it again.
Yeah.
Because it's all over the place.
Your life?
Yeah. It's exactly what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Oh, I got a bit of hair on me. Thank you for picking it like a monkey. I wish sometimes we needed to film these. The actions that we do to each other.
All the eye rolls that you missed.
Yeah, I know. A lot of missed eye rolls.
So what are we talking today about, Nathan?
You don't want to hear about my life?
Speaking about my life?
That's okay. No, your life. All right. Well, I want to know, why is your life a jumbled mess? Just give me a rundown.
No. You talk about your life now.
No, I'm almost a qualified psychologist. Just wanted to put that out there. Got my thesis due this week, and then I can register.
Done.
And then I'll be able to legally give you mental health advice.
Beautiful.
Which scares me.
See, this is the second. This is where the pods turn into a dark format, where instead of movie reviews, it'll actually be my counselling.
Well, yeah, it usually just turns into a counselling session anyway.
It does, unfortunately, but
that's how life works, doesn't it? Some days.
That's what friends are for.
Is that really what friends are for?
Absolutely.
To get free mental health advice. Yeah, I'll be pretty cheap.
Sam,
anyway.
You're welcome to come back anytime. All right.
Yes.
Now,
please, and keep listening. Don't.
We need all the viewers.
No, but seriously,
we need that ad revenue.
If because the other thing was, we're going to do the childhood horror one that we just did. We want to follow up with the forgotten childhood films that we enjoyed. So hopefully Sam can come on for that, but we'll see how we go.
We'll see how we go.
That's down the track.
Down the track.
All right. So the room.
The room. Oh.
Yeah.
My Life is the Room.
Considered the worst, one of the worst movies of all time, if not the worst movie of all time. And that got me thinking. So, what I wanted to start talking about, because I know there's like it's been done by a lot of podcasts, and there's a lot of YouTube. You can just go on YouTube and see like people shitting on the movie the whole time. But what I want to try and do is not do that obvious, like just saying how bad it is and just like saying like just listing everything that's shit about it.
Yeah,
I want to go a bit deeper.
Not going just straight into like the acting. And
like because that you can find that all already. So what I want to ask you first is could you list some of the emotions you feel when watching The Room?
Do they need to be?
No, you can say emotion, like whatever. But what I want to say is like just try and give me like a full spectrum of like emotions that come through.
Confusion, delusion,
intrusion,
intrusion of my mind.
I feel some disgust at times.
Humor, laughter, love.
Yeah,
not really love.
Do you feel love?
No, not really. Adventurous to go to San Francisco and see where it was filmed.
It was filmed in LA, but anyway.
I don't know. I can't connect to this film.
So this is my question though: is you've already listed like some positive and negative, like quite a spectrum. So how could a bad movie make you feel all those different things? Isn't that the goal of a movie, is to make you feel things?
Oh yeah.
So isn't that then a good movie because it's made you feel?
But I don't think any movie should leave me confused the whole film.
Okay. So you want at least some resolution.
Just something. Like
you look lost.
There's engaged. Yeah, even talking about The Room just it makes you lost. It's you're engaged to the film.
Yes.
But at the same time, you have no idea how to feel. Like I know what the film is telling me about this characters in these situations, how poorly they're created, but you still it's like an illusion. You don't know what's happening. You're lost.
It's been described as like that, like Tommy Wiseau, if he was an alien that came to Earth and wrote a movie about what he thinks humans do to interact.
Yeah, that nails it on the head.
That would make more sense. Well, you know, the original ending was actually supposed to be that he's a vampire. And he drives off in a car up into like the sunset. Kind of like Grease at the end where they fly off in the car.
I kind of want to see that ending.
Yeah, so I think like there was supposed to be a supernatural element to it. And then that kind of got taken out. It's kind of like with Annie Hall, how there was like the murder mystery and then it ended up just being the love story. He sort of got told, you know, you can't actually afford to do this sequence. So you've just got to make it more of a drama.
I think it's better keeping it real.
Yeah, well, real.
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
Well, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I think if it was... I think after all that, after all the Room, all the hour and a half, and he's turned out to be a vampire... It has a sci-fi element.
It explains a little bit more about how the plot's strange, though.
Even more like cheesy and an easy way out. I think it's funnier with a dark undertone of him shooting himself.
Yeah, well,
because even that's done poorly, and even that's funny.
Even that ends poorly. Yeah.
So I'm all for just keeping it dark and serious because when it's like that, it's better for me.
Okay. Yeah. So as you said, like, this is the thing, like, when you watch it, it just makes you feel like a range of emotions, and, like, the screenings, which I've never actually gone to one, but I've seen video where, like, people get so fired up and they throw spoons at the screen.
We will be going to a screening.
Yeah,
very
there's,
soon.
like, there's this passionate, like, fan base that it's brought people together. And that's why I'm like, I don't actually even know if it is a bad movie, in the sense of, like, that it's unwatchable bad.
Well... Let's define it. Okay, so...
Because I think it's watchable.
These days, bad movies are your Sharknadoes, your Mega Crocs versus Mega
But those
Octopus.
they're intentionally made bad, though.
But that's what people... There's a market there now.
But that's like...
those
but those
movies.
are the so bad it's good kind. Because there's bad in the sense of like...
is The Room like that, though? But The Room was
well,
done
this is where like
the early 2000s.
Well, see, now it was 2003 it was released, and Tommy Wiseau has since said it's a black comedy. So he's like said that he intended it to be funny.
Oh yeah,
but when he was kind of marketing it, like as we're gonna talk about the Disaster Artist next pod, but also there was no like indication when he was planning it or writing it that it was supposed to be a comedy. It was actually, originally it was like a play, and apparently it was like 300 or 600 pages. It was some ridiculous amount of pages. And it was this massive, like, mega drama of this guy who's like, his girlfriend cheats on him, and it's like all the emotions he goes through.
Yeah, that sounds like The Room. I don't think...
Yeah.
I think he's trying to save his skin a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's kind of trying to protect his ego.
Because it's not... There's no humour in it. There's no jokes.
No, it's funny to laugh at. Well, there's kind of the one with the... You know, when he's getting the blowjob and his eyes are, like, rolling and stuff. Like, there's kind of humorous intent there. You remember that scene where he's like...
It's almost slapsticky. Like, that's like...
Yeah, oh, and the football, too. And Tommy laughs every, like, line that he says as well. So, and now we're just turning... Now we just got to shit on it. It's not hard not to do that.
Yeah, well...
But no, okay, so let's, like, work out the plot.
Okay.
Let's try and, like, dissect it. Because that was, like, the hardest part. Like, when you watch it the first time... I think, like... I love sitting and watching it with people the first time. Because, like, their reaction at the end is like, what just happened? Like,
it ends, but... I don't know, it's so strange. You watch it all, and then once it's finished, you have no idea how it started.
No.
It's a big journey.
Yeah, well, the opening scene is he comes into the room, which is his apartment, and he sort of announces to leave. Like, well, it's just so confusing. There's so many scenes that sort of just happen, but the basic plot is kind of like that he's trying to get, like, a promotion at his computer systems / bank job.
Just every job in the world. And Danny?
Yeah, Denny.
Denny?
He's not in for a while.
Denny, is that's the kid that's in love with...
Well, you know, the actor was
Lisa.
like 30 years old when they made that.
He looks very young.
Yeah.
Really disturbing. Well, Tommy looks like he's 50, so...
Yeah.
And he still looks the same now, so...
Playing like a 30-year-old.
I don't know. Well, the ages are all mixed up.
Well, the main plot is him and... He lives with Lisa, his girlfriend. He lives with
Lisa. He has an affair with his friend.
That was she has an affair with his friend Mark.
She has an affair with his friend Mark.
Yeah.
He then finds out and kills himself.
That's a very brief.
Well, what else is there to fill in?
There's a lot of different subplots.
The weird kid has a weird...
He wants to watch. They're in bed and he's like, can I watch?
Which doesn't lead to anything. The mother gets cancer. That leads to nothing. It just comes up in conversation. Oh, by the way, I have cancer.
Yeah.
Oh. That's it. Yeah. And then next scene. They play football together.
Yeah. With wedding... they're wearing suits because they're going to a wedding.
Flowers.
Yeah, the flower scene. That's a beautiful scene. I can see your mind's getting sucked into the vortex of this is the effect he has.
Oh, that's it. It's just an affair.
Yeah,
it's a rom-com.
Kind of a rom-com. Well, you just said it's not meant to be a comedy.
Dark. Yeah. Well, in his mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a rom-com, but I call it a romantic drama.
A romantic drama.
Romantic drama.
Yeah. And I think that's the plot. And what he kind of just... I think the thing that he sort of didn't get right with the script was I think he had an idea of like what a B or C story is, but he didn't understand what that means. like so the A story is obviously the Johnny and Lisa's relationship and her cheating on Mark, and then the eventual reveal that he finds out at the party. But in between all that, there's the subplot of Denny, and then there's because the drug dealer on the roof, and then he gets the drug dealer, the Chris R, and he comes up and he's like, I'll kill you, if you don't give me the money. And then for some reason the whole family's there, Lisa and the mother.
Oh my god!
And their mother.
The drug deal. This doesn't make sense. No one's a drug. No one. Well, they all look like they're on drugs, but no one seemed. There was no foreshadowing of drug use.
And it's kind of not really ever referenced again.
No,
except that it kind of. I think he used it to explain Danny's sort of weird behavior. It's like Danny's on drugs and we need to save him.
Oh,
yeah. And then the other subplot is there's the mother with cancer, which is just never mentioned again.
It's one line,
but I think there was some interpretation that a lot of it's not just the subplots, but a lot of the opening stuff. It's all disjointed, but the common theme is that it's there to show what a great guy Johnny is, because that's Tommy Wiseau's character. So there's like the scene where he goes to the flower shop and he's like, "Hello, doggy," and she's like, "You're my favorite customer," you know.
So
and like he goes around, and it's sort of like
he's trying to get the audience to care for him, and
yeah, because
he's very hardworking. He's very generous.
Yeah, it's like he's read half of a How to Write a Screenplay book.
Yeah,
he's read the first half where you've got to make your character likable.
Yeah,
and you have to have multiple storylines, you know, to keep it interesting.
But how to
But he's never like he's
and
just
put the pieces together.
He didn't integrate it in the
no. There's no integration.
in the ideal way.
It's everything.
Yeah,
it's like 4 Bold and the Beautiful episodes.
Wow, that could be true. Yeah, it'd be better as a soap opera.
Shitty Bold and the Beautiful episode.
Yeah, well, you know, he did a it was called Neighbours. It was a TV show, which was a similar concept in 2015. But it was like awful because it was all the worst parts of the room, like the bad dialogue and the cheesiness, but with none of the charm.
Yeah. Well, what is the charm? Let's get onto that. What is the charm of the room?
That's actually the next point that I was going to get to, and I think part of what the charm is obviously in like Tommy that he did everything. Like he was the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, producer, director, and writer.
Yeah.
So it's produced, written, and directed by. And it, like in the opening titles, even it comes up with each. It doesn't say written and directed. It's like got his name for each. It's like produced by, written by, directed by, starring. Like he had to just put his name. I think it was just like
he loved it.
It's kind of him. It's kind of Tommy, like sort of asserting he knows that this is like his big project.
Yeah,
and he just. I think he tried to get everything about himself out.
People feel sorry for him in a way.
Yeah,
I feel a little bit sorry for him because obviously he's put a lot of money into it. You know, he's
$6 million.
He's put himself in a position to do everything, so he's passionate.
Yes,
but it's just come out so bad
that it was good.
You can't help but feel sorry, but you also feel like, oh, he's really lucky to.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is,
he's gotten like a second chance.
If for most like independent filmmakers or indie filmmakers, it's kind of the dream that this is his project. You know, he's got his Hollywood film because it was filmed in LA. Yeah,
he's half-assed it. Now it's a cult phenomenon, and another movie is coming out about it.
Yeah,
James Franco.
Well, this is a while. That's a while away. We will get onto that. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
But I think the charm of it is, I think it's partly in the casting and then the acting as well. So like the characters are just so bizarre.
Yes,
and it's kind of like I don't know if any of them are actually considered good actors, except maybe the mother. She's probably like in her delivery. I know what she has to say is pretty awful, but her delivery and passion.
She's probably the closest. Yeah. Well, she's probably got the most.
And in the Disaster Artist, it actually says she was from Long Beach, which is sort of like about 45 hours from LA. It's kind of like Geelong to Melbourne. And she would drive up every day to film it because she was just an older lady, and it was like her getting an acting job.
Yeah.
So she just kept turning up because she loved it. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But we haven't even gone to Greg Sestero yet, who's the guy who wrote The Disaster Artist, and he is Mark in the film. So do you know any of his backstory? Have you, do you know much of what his involvement in the film was?
If I may just add something to your...
Are you going to drop
the
a fact?
Actors. No, not a fact.
No, but
just an opinion and observation.
Yeah.
When you said about the acting...
Yeah.
It felt like the actors hadn't had any time to look over the story or to read the script. They just met on the day.
Yeah.
And they're like...
That's basically what happened.
You don't know each other?
No.
Only your character names?
Yeah.
Go.
That's pretty much what happened.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm getting to that. So what happened was Greg Sestero, right? He was not meant to play Mark originally. His role in the film, he was Johnny's friend. They were in acting classes together in San Francisco, and he was living with Johnny in. I'm saying Johnny. He was living with Tommy in LA in his apartment, and then Tommy brought in the script and they started producing it. Greg's role was the line producer, and for people who are interested in filmmaking, line producers basically. It's kind of like they're not the director or the first assistant director, but they're kind of in charge of the operations of the production. So they're responsible to keep everything running.
Yeah.
So Greg was involved in casting. So he was the one who was actually looking through headshots and everything of actors that were supposed to play the roles.
Yeah.
And he said they got something like 5,000, headshots and stuff. That's how many actors there are in LA. You put out a casting call, and you get that. And he was involved in
Melbourne. It's probably a few hundred. Also.
Yeah. Is it raining?
It is raining.
I can hear the rain. Oh,
really?
Beautiful.
Oh,
We've got a bit of sound effect.
A nice peaceful atmosphere now. You may fall asleep during this.
Yeah, I'm just sleep talking. No. So Greg Sestero, he was actually meant to be the producer of the film. He was more meant to be a crew member that was actually keeping the gears running. And then Johnny, God damn it, Tommy said to him, I'm getting sucked into the vortex of the room. You talk about it too long and you turn into one of the characters.
Oh, God.
No, so Tommy said to him, you should play the role of Mark. And so then he became the actor. So he was trying to keep the film going while being an actor. So he's actually... So Greg, we'll talk about the disaster artist soon, but his basic history was he was like just a kid, like a small town kid who wanted to go to the city. He was from like the San Francisco suburbs, and he went to LA to become an actor. Got an agent, got some auditions.
All the usual stuff.
He did a film overseas, I think, and he did a couple of things. I think he auditioned for Lord of the Rings.
Oh wow!
Probably Legolas. He didn't. I don't think he mentions what character, but it would have been. I don't think it would have been a Hobbit. But he had that. He's like actually a really attractive guy if you actually like look at him on screen.
Yeah, he's
and he's a fairly
guy.
decent actor. Like his acting in the room can be excused because he was doing like all the other roles.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have time to even think. But
he's not too bad.
He was basically the gears behind all the casting.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the cast, as I said, I think it's Carolyn Minute. I want to try and credit these people so because they never get recognition. So Carolyn Minute played Claudette, which is Lisa's mother. Juliette Danielle played Lisa, and I think she was like the third or fourth actress because Tommy kept firing them on set. He would just fire them and they'd have to get a new replacement.
Why though?
Because he'd just get pissed off. He would just like he'd tell them they're not reading their lines correctly, and that's like If you've seen the trailer for the Disaster Artist, how many takes it takes him to get his lines?
Yeah, it's like 40 takes to get a line.
So he was like a dictator on set. So like the production, it was a mess, really. So it's the thing is, it's amazing that this film ever got made at all.
Yeah,
but I think part of the charm is, as you were saying, the actors were so unprepared. A lot of them were like amateurs. Like the guy who played Chris R, Dan Jigian. I don't know if he was a real drug dealer, but there was I can't remember the story, but he was
got him off the
he was kind of like a shady guy, that Greg knew, and like he just wanted an acting role or something. He got paid like $500. Oh, and because the other thing was Greg was in charge of the production, and Tommy had a budget. He was just funding it, and it was like the theory was it was about $6 million. That's the kind of the rumor, I guess, and no one knows where that money came from. That's another story.
He's heavily in debt.
Well, apparently, at the end of the Disaster Artist, apparently they go to San Fran and he owns a building. Apparently, he owns a skyscraper in San Fran, and so let's if you own a skyscraper, you get all the rent from all the tenants. So apparently, but who knows?
Oh God.
Well, it would make sense why he has all that money. But basically, what Tommy was doing was just funneling money into the production, and Greg was getting paid weekly, and all the actors were getting paid.
Yeah.
So he kind of had a bit of an interest in keeping it going.
Yeah, well, money. If he didn't have the money, I'm
it would never have gotten made.
Everyone would have walked out on the first day.
No, but the reason, like, you look at these actors and you see them in it, and I remember I was thinking the first time I watched it, like, why would anyone do this? And they were getting paid.
Because it's easy money.
And it's an acting job.
It's easy money.
I know.
They must have known that this movie is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anytime, or even not be completed but still get paid.
Yeah, some of them probably didn't even think
so
it would ever see the light of day.
I'll just chuff off these lines.
And that's what and Greg mentions it in the book that there are thousands of productions like this in LA. So for any actor, it's like, oh, it's just another like pay gig.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize how huge it would be. And like, we've talked to Steph, and she's told us how hard it is to be an actress over there.
Yeah.
And when I went over there and I saw it, when the first restaurant we went to, we met a girl, the waitress. She was from Melbourne.
Really?
And she was over there to be an actress.
Oh my god!
And she was like serving us food. So it's just like there's just so many dreams.
That's incredible.
You see, Mulholland Drive, David Lynch. We got to watch that because that's about an actress and her broken dreams. But anyway, the point is,
sounds like me.
The actors there, they were all just doing it for the money, basically, not for the passion.
Definitely.
Tommy was doing it for the passion. Yeah. The other actors were just like,
well, I used to go on Neighbours.
Oh yeah,
because it was good money.
You never mentioned that before.
I thought I'd funnel that in, but no, just
yeah. Why not tell us about Neighbours?
Hang on, you've been talking a lot. Let me just.
Oh, he's getting into his Neighbours pose, guys.
Trying to stretch out my legs without making a lot of noise. Well, when I was on Neighbours, you see, I can kind of relate to the room actors because I knew Neighbours is terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry, Neighbours. But it was good money at the same time.
Yes.
So really, end of the day, no one's going to remember me in the Neighbours. I was an extra. But
I remember you as Hawaiian guy number 3.
So plot me in a movie project where I think, oh, this isn't going to be made.
Well, you did that Chinese one.
But I'm still getting money.
Remember the Chinese one? Daniel, what was it called?
Adventures with Anthony?
Anthony's Adventures or something.
Anthony's Adventures? I don't know.
Yeah.
Some Mandarin film.
Yeah, Sean is in a proper Mandarin film production.
I am in a Mandarin film.
It was filmed in Melbourne, and you were in the cooking scene for 2 seconds.
Well,
you were in a movie.
They cut
no one can take that away from
out,
you.
but that's definitely not my fault. Look, if I was plopped into the Adventures of Anthony,
yeah,
and it was just terrible,
yeah,
and I thought this movie isn't going to be credited,
yeah,
and I was still getting paid,
yeah,
you'd stick around. You'd be
Yeah.
like, whatever. Like I got nothing else going for me.
No.
At the time, and then, Adventures of Time with Anthony. Almost 20 years later, people are still talking about this film.
yeah,
And now it's embedded in their history forever.
yeah. It's
I
nearly 15 years
feel-
old. 15 years old.
I feel
yeah.
terrible because
Oh, you
I
wouldn't
think,
like it. You
No,
think
well,
it's a
I
curse?
think all these actors here would be like, I should have done a better job because
Well,
now
yeah,
people
they-
are watching it monthly.
There's videos you could go to on YouTube. We might even link one. In particular, Juliet Danielle and Philip Haldeman, who plays Denny. So Lisa and Denny's characters, they're completely normal people who can actually speak proper English, and they do like meet and greets and talk. Like they do Q&As, and they talk about the experience. And Tommy he wasn't a creep, but he was just it was a mess. He didn't know what he was doing. And Greg even mentions it was like his third go in Hollywood. He would keep going back and forward. So like he met Tommy like doing the acting classes in San Fran, and then they went back to LA to try and make a movie. And apparently that was the third time. So I think it was in the 80s and the 90s as well.
Well, what about Greg Ellery?
As Steven. That's the dude who's just randomly there at the party who gives Tommy the advice, but he's never been in the film up till that point. He's like, Tommy, you got to go speak to her. You got to go, you got to go tell her how you feel. It's like, who was this guy?
Where's he now? Let's get him on the show. And what about Kyle Vogt,
who's Peter, the psychologist? When they're in the cafe and he's giving him like counselling advice.
No,
you don't remember that scene?
I don't remember.
He's got the friend who's a psychologist, Peter. I guess that would be my role. Oh. And apparently the actor left, and they just got a new actor to replace him. So the same character's got 2 actors in the film, whereas all the other ones like they got replaced, but he at least reshot all the scenes. But they just had to keep reshooting. It was just crazy. And that was the last thing I wanted to talk about: the film techniques. So without not going to shit on, because obviously it was really
no.
It actually looks like a professional film because he used proper cameras.
Yep.
But you know the story how he used 2 cameras at the same time. So he used a digital and a film camera, and that was the first film ever and the last one ever to do 2 filming 2 at once. And he ended up going with digital anyway. He didn't even use the film one.
So there's a film version out there somewhere.
Yeah, like on film reel, and that's so expensive. And that's what Greg was saying. Most of the money was going into. Because every shot they had to use film and digital. It was just ridiculous. And the editing was insane. I think the editor started going like actually crazy because he had to do the crappy audio.
So does that mean there's a film edited version out there somewhere of a different angle?
No. It's lost. Like they got rid of it. They just used the digital one.
Lost.
Well, Tommy probably has it in his.
Throw it in the bin.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to say the green screen is so obvious in the roof scenes.
Oh,
where
gosh.
It's just because they actually what happened was they filmed it all in LA in this little like parking lot of the film equipment building. They let him film in the parking lot because he bought so much stuff.
Yeah,
apparently bought like $1.5 million worth of equipment, so they let him film there. And then so they filmed the rooftop scenes, and then they went to San Fran to film the shots for the green screen.
Yeah,
so it's all his own film. But Greg just saw that as like it's like a free trip to San Fran and everything.
Just read a couple of lines over and over.
Yeah. So next week we'll talk about. There's more to talk about the room, but we're going to talk about it in the disaster. I just see
like there's a few little notable points here.
Yeah. Let's write it down. We always do that. At the end anyway.
Budget $6 million.
Yep.
Box office 1,800.
1,800 in its first run because it just played at the one cinema in LA for like a week or 2. And it's sold. So 1,800, I don't know, $10 a ticket, it sold at 180 tickets.
Wow, that's pretty...
Maybe more. It might have been $5 a ticket back then, but... So, 360 tickets.
It's not too bad, you know.
It runs... It's a standard...
family and friends.
Yeah.
Go along.
And it has 32% of Rotten Tomatoes, so it's certified rotten. So I think people consider it
not
a bad
as bad
movie.
as I thought it'd be, though. I thought it'd be in the sort of tens, like...
Yeah, like awful.
Really bad, but there is a little bit of charm behind it. I think that sums it up perfectly. 32 is amazing. It's not average, but it's not birdemic.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
Let's put it this way, right? As a technical film, it's bad. But if you're talking about like watchability, it's a good
It's
film.
amazing, and sometimes that's all you need.
If you think about it, so many films get made that are so hard to watch. Like, as I even said, Guardians of the Galaxy, so many millions of dollars, I find it hard to watch. That eye roll.
This is so many millions of dollars. This is $6 million.
And I could watch it. Watchable.
Wow.
Love it.
Wow.
The Room. All right. We're going to be continued.
I have nothing else to say about this.